Good evening and welcome to the Tibet Center here at 151 West 31st Street, 3rd floor. 30th Street?
30th.
151 West 30th Street. 3rd floor. Okay. So we'll start by reading the prayer for the spreading of the teachings throughout the length and breadth of the West, which you'll find in the FAQ section if you scroll down on the Tibet Center's website. By the force of the blessings of the non-fallacious three precious gems and of the truth of our pure selfless wishes, may the precious Buddhist teachings flourish and spread to the expanse of all areas throughout the length and breadth of the West. For all the people living there together with their dear ones who have engaged in the teachings and have faith and respect for them, may all conditions adverse to their practice of the pure Dharma be dispelled, and the excellent collection of favorable conditions increase like the waxing moon. And especially for those who work on methods to accomplish the flourishing and spreading of the victorious one's teachings, which are the source of benefit and happiness, may they never be oppressed by masses of interference and adverse conditions, and may this spontaneously happen just as we hoped and wished. The Heart Sutra. Thus have I heard once. The Blessed One was dwelling in the royal domain of the Vulture Peak Mountain, together with a big gathering of great monks and great bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One entered the samadhi which examines the Dharma's called profound illumination. And at the same time, noble Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, looking at the profound practice of transcendent knowledge, saw the five skandhas in their natural emptiness. Then, through the inspiration of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said to Avalokiteshvara, how should those noble ones learn who wish to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge? And Avalokiteshvara answered, Venerable Shariputra, whoever wishes to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge should look at it like this, seeing the five skandhas in their natural emptiness. Form is empty, emptiness itself is form, emptiness is not separate from form, form is not separate from emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discriminating awareness, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Thus all the dharmas are empty and have no characteristics. They are unborn and unceasing. They are not good or pure. They neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, since there is emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discriminating awareness, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no objects of mind, no quality of sight, no quality of hearing, no quality of smelling, no quality of tasting, no quality of sensing, no quality of thought, no quality of mind consciousness. There are no nidanas from ignorance to old age and death, nor there were again. There is no suffering, no cause of suffering, no ending of suffering, and no path, no wisdom, no attainment, no non-attainment. Therefore, since there is no attainment, the bodhisattvas abide by means of transcendent knowledge, and since there is no obscurity of mind, they have no fear, they transcend falsity and pass beyond the bounds of sorrow. All the Buddhas who dwell in the past, present, and future, by means of transcendent knowledge, fully and clearly awaken to unsurpassed, true, complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of transcendent knowledge, the mantra of deep insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra which calms all suffering should be known as truth, where there is no deception. In transcendent knowledge, the mantra is proclaimed, Tadyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvara. O Shariputra, this is how a Bodhisattva Mahasattva should learn profound transcendent knowledge. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and praised the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, Good, good, O son of noble family. Profound, transcendent knowledge should be practiced just as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, Shariputra and Avalokiteshvara, that whole gathering in the world with its gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, their hearts full of joy, praised the words of the Blessed One. Regenerate bodhicitta. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind intent on full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space endures, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind intent on full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space endures, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind intent on full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space endures, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. So let's do one rosary of Om Mani Padme Hum, thinking of what we just recited and thinking of removing the suffering of others. That's the quality we're really trying to generate. And that's the quality that Om Mani Padme Hum represents. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. So, we have been discussing ethics for the new millennium by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. His Holiness's presentation of his views on secular ethics. The essence of secular ethics is this wish to remove the suffering of others. And developing this determination, this wish to remove the suffering of others, is the root, the main cause for bringing about bodhicitta. And I thought it might be, if you don't mind, we can discuss the method by which you generate bodhicitta, this exchanging self for others method for generating bodhicitta, because I really think that it forms the basis for the root, let's say the foundation for secular, ethically correct behavior. So to be traditional, there are considered to be two methods by which bodhicitta is generated: the sevenfold cause and effect method and the method of exchanging self for others. And in the method for exchanging self for others, you don't dwell on the fact that every sentient being has been your mother, which is in the sevenfold cause and effect method. You're not, in other words, you're not limiting your recognition of the kindness of others to the kindness that they have shown us when they were our mothers. You are extending that to recognize the kindness that they have shown us throughout existence in all sorts of ways, recognizing that each and every sentient being has shown us kindness, and that our happiness, our well-being is dependent on the ways in which they've helped us. So it's a more expansive recognition of our dependence on others. And I think that as we're working towards developing secular ethics, in order to really feel this wish, this determination, this responsibility towards others, it's really important to do so based on our recognition of their kindness. I don't know, I should ask, do you think that it's necessary to recognize their kindness in order to really feel this responsibility towards them and towards wishing to help them? It helps.
Definitely. It's like you owe them. If you have a debt, that's to be repaid.
But I think also in some way it's linking it back to ourselves. Like, oh, they've done something for me, therefore I should do something for them. Whereas if you just have equanimity, recognize that everybody wants to be happy just like me. There's just, and everyone has Buddha nature. And there's
Everyone has Buddha nature. What's this Buddha nature they all have?
Very valuable these days.
the emptiness of our mind,
Of their mind, of our mind, of the mind.
Which one?
I don't know.
Which one of the three are empty?
That's above my pay grade.
I'm a bit confused because I'm wondering, are you referring to looking at people's kindness as being exemplary and that we should therefore try to emulate them?
No.
Or no. We suppose I would think that we should wish to be kind regardless of whether the other people have been kind to us.
So the question was, does a recognition of their having been kind to us in past lives over many lifetimes help generate a feeling of responsibility towards them?
I would think yes. I mean, I would think that it should also extend not just to them, but and this is what I mean in terms of,
When you say not just to them,
well,
who is there beyond them? if we have all sentient beings,
Well, I think we should be count all sentient beings.
yeah, but all sentient, this is a recognition that all sentient beings have been kind to us, helped us. So we're including them all. And you know, all sentient beings is really hard to get our minds around. It's not just the mosquitoes and the bears and the cats and the, but it's any direction we point it. You know, I gather that in modern science, the idea that you can go out in any direction forever and there must be world systems with sentient beings in every direction forever, and that dimensions and sizes are such that you could contain between your hands world systems, universes, with, you know, numbers that I couldn't come up with. The infinite sentient beings just here, let alone here. So according to science, that doesn't really hold true. That the edge of our solar system has a certain wave-like quality where it blends back in. Does anyone know about this?
I think they've measured to a certain distance out, and they haven't been able to measure past that, as I understood it.
So I'm not talking about the limits of our ability to measure. There is an actual wave-like quality that suggests a limit. But
Scientists' point of view.
yeah, but then you have the question of what's being. So I can see we don't have any
Universe in a single atom, you heard that? It's the whole universe in a single atom. What was he talking about?
Yeah, so the whole idea is that within an atom you have a universe, that everything is relative, and that within, if you start to think that within an atom you could have a whole universe of beings, of sentient beings, this whole idea of infinite sentient beings has to comprise all these dimensions and all these ways of viewing, and infinite beings, a universe within an atom, helps us expand the mind, expand the infinite quality of beings that we are assuming a certain responsibility towards. And that's now, so we have all these beings we are encircled by, to then begin to think about the fact that each and every one of them has been our mother in a past life. That's the root of developing a feeling of responsibility according to the sevenfold cause and effect method. Recognizing that each and every one of them has in some way contributed to my well-being, not necessarily as a mother, but you know, in the construction of this building, in the construction of the road system that we depend on to get here, the subway system, the rail system, and here I'm sort of limiting it to the human beings who've done that. You then have the amount of sentient beings that have contributed to all other aspects of our survival. But the kindness that has been shown us inadvertently in many cases, but throughout this life, that we've been talking about, what's it called, Amazon Prime. The amount of people, as Mark was talking, who contribute to that package getting there, the amount of beings who have contributed to the delivery of the fabrication of the delivery system, the fabrication of the all aspects of this system that enables that package, and thinking about this, and it extends farther than just viewing the kindness of a mother. It's viewing the kindness of each and every one of the people who've contributed to each and every aspect of the infrastructure that makes our lives possible, that we tend to take for granted. So it is that is really concentrated on and recognized in this method of generating bodhicitta. Seeing the degree to which everything we enjoy is due to the kindness of others. We tend to think of the craftsmen and the people involved. We don't think of their kindness. We've paid, and they make things. I mean, we recognize the kindness, your kindness in fabricating these things that we don't pay for. Thank you. Our mandala roof, this. The infrastructure that we depend on is provided by hard work, by countless human beings. And the more we can do this, and I really think it's exactly what you were talking about regarding Amazon's working system, really working at recognizing our dependence on so many others and their kindness. That's like an essential part of the method of exchanging self for others. And then, so once we've done that, once we've really come to recognize their kindness, really come to develop a feeling of gratitude, a feeling of a wish to repay that in some way, but we're really recognizing, we're by acknowledging and recognizing their kindness, out of that comes a feeling of responsibility towards them, and that's what we're trying to arrive at. And the other really important ingredient is recognizing that all the difficulties that we experience in life, all the challenges, are due to our self-cherishing, are due to the things that we've done selfishly. And here, this is sort of an uncomfortable thing to accept and to acknowledge. But if we, now this is a meditation, this is something that we have to really sit and contemplate and come to a recognition of, come to an admission of, which is that every kind of difficulty that I experience is the result of karma, is the result of my non-virtuous actions in the past. And this is not a judgment of others. We are not looking at someone and saying she or he is suffering due to the fact that she or he has engaged in negative activities in the past. We are doing this towards ourselves. We are acknowledging, accepting the mechanics of karma, of cause and effect, and accepting the ramifications of the results of our own negative behavior in the past, which is causing us difficulty. And that acceptance is really important. It is considering this dynamic. It is by considering it and by recognizing it and by accepting it that we begin to assume responsibility for our behavior. And it is the method by which we really develop the muscle that enables us to refrain from the kind of behavior that would cause us to suffer. It is the way by which we oppose non-virtuous, selfish behavior that causes all our difficulty. And that's as I say, an uncomfortable one. It's a tough one, but it's really important. And it's as fundamental as recognizing the kindness shown by all beings that have provided us with everything we have. We recognize the kindness of others, and we recognize that it is our self-cherishing, it is our self-grasping that causes us to behave in the ways that bring about our suffering, our difficulty, our hardships, whatever. When we have really, let me stop there. So I've laid out these two aspects of the meditation to be engaged in for exchanging self for others. What are your thoughts about these? Yes?
I also think that sometimes the kindness of others is the fact that they're getting rid of our bad karma by causing problems for us. So that's actually a form of
So we
kindness.
should say thank you.
Yes, exactly.
Thank Richie.
I think it's also in recognizing that we create our own karma, it can be challenging sometimes for me to then not get mad at myself for creating it.
Well, if getting mad at yourself can be an effective way of getting you to not repeat that, then a little getting mad at yourself might be a good thing.
Yeah. But what if you don't know what if you have no memory or awareness of the action it is that led to this karma?
If you acknowledge that it was due to some kind of selfish action, you can at least determine that it might be best to diminish my selfish ways. Make it general.
Yeah, you don't know the specific, we're not going to go back 10 lifetimes, but we can infer, given the rules, I don't feel good, so I must have done something, and I dealt this thing, so that's all. I wish we could go back. I tell people, no, but
So we have the selfish behavior, and we have these afflictive emotions that come about as a result of our self-cherishing, pride, jealousy, anger. All of these come from this sense of self, and all of these actions, such actions, are the cause of our present difficulties. But the root cause of it all is holding on to a sense of self. Given that all those afflictive emotions stem from self-grasping, the root of self-grasping is believing in a sense of self. And so when we study, when we think about, when we discuss emptiness, I mean, in the monastery, we spend hours debating this topic of self and no self. All of this is exercising and familiarizing ourselves with this notion of a sense of self, and developing these little insights into the logical impossibility of there being an inherently existent self. And the more we think about the logical impossibility of there being such an inherently existent self, the more it begins to weaken. And so the reading about these things, thinking about these things is really valuable. We've been discussing secular ethics in a sort of general way, but to actually recognize the value of opening a book on the wisdom aspect of Buddhist practice is important, is really helpful, and is related to secular ethics, is related to the way we lead our lives, is related to the method by which we develop a certain responsibility towards others. Any comments? Yes.
Well, I have a problem, but this is not exactly, well, all right, I might as well come out of it. I have a problem with exchanging self and others, because I think in my head, if I inhale all the negative of the universe, boom, I go right down. And there's no chance for me to get any positive energy out. Boom!
What is down?
Just like that. Well, it's not the opposite of up.
Yes, well,
It's down and up.
The sound of up?
Yeah.
No, because I can't do it.
try. They're out there, they love you.
So when we haven't quite gotten there yet, but when we begin to assume, take upon ourselves the suffering of others, or when we imagine doing that, we don't imagine, if we're next to a sick person and we develop the wish to take away and take upon ourselves the suffering of that person, we shouldn't think of getting sick. We shouldn't imagine assuming their illness and getting sick ourselves. No, we think of breathing in all of the negativity that they're experiencing, all of the suffering that they're experiencing, and think at your heart of some flame of self-cherishing which is diminished by this negativity that we are taking in. So it serves a purpose of countering our self-cherishing.
But then your premise is that there's no consequence for doing this.
So
Inhaling all the negative
Tony and I both attended this wonderful teaching by Sencha Rinpoche in New York City. You may have been there too, back in the late 70s. Sorry? No, this line. Yeah, 1982 maybe. Anyway, Sekon Sencha Rinpoche was talking about just this, and he said, the suffering that we experience, any suffering that we experience is the result of our own selfish, self-cherishing, and there is no way that we can suffer in any way unless we have caused that suffering. So that whatever suffering we may assume, take on, the suffering that we experience is due to our own non-virtuous karma or past actions. And then he told us the story of some person, he had heard that there was someone who was actually able to take on the suffering of someone else. And he told us, and this person took on the illness of the other person and removed the illness from the other person, and he died. He said, that's good. And I remember this sort of, boom, that's good. It stayed with me, the jolt of, in other words, he was saying to us, if you actually could do that, how wonderful, but you can't. He was saying both of these things. It would be good if you could, but we can't. We are not able to. The suffering that we experience is the result of our negative actions. The suffering that someone else has experienced is the result of their karma. What we are trying to do is develop the wish to remove their.
Will there be any kind of karmic link to the person that you're trying to remove the suffering from in the future?
I think that the mere thought of wishing to remove their suffering is a karmic link. It is established by the thought. I mean, if you see, you're walking down the street and you see a cat that's really suffering and you say, you know, I wish I could just take on its suffering and free it of its, you've established a karmic link.
But you've established a cause for suffering.
Opposite.
No, that's right.
I don't think so.
What do you?
No, I mean, if you inhale, I wish I could take all the negativity of all meanings of the universe, inhale. That creates a cause for your suffering.
No. You are developing this wish that you could provide them with happiness and that you could remove their suffering. I think that
But you can't actually do it.
This is,
so what is, yes?
I have a question, but I heard a couple of stories, I'm not sure it's that His Holiness was in danger. One is Southern Rinpoche.
that's right.
He was in the wedding, he was in a place, I can't remember the name. Yes. And His Holiness was in danger of the airplane.
In Israel, no, Alex tells the story.
Yeah. So I thought you could actually take.
Did someone take his own as a suffering and speedy?
No.
Sargon Sanchez.
He went, and the time His Holiness was in Israel, and a bomb blew up by his motorcade, but it didn't get to him. And at that time, he had told Alex to get out of here in English. And then he died. And then he came back to Tibet and I wouldn't want to. No, really, that's the story Alex tells I know. But that's an unusual person. We're lucky to be around things like that.
So what we are trying to do is develop the wish to do that rather than to simply avoid. That's bodhicitta is a determination to attain enlightenment in order to help all sentient beings. In order to have that attitude, that feeling, we have to have the wish to remove the suffering of others. And we have to develop that. We have to strongly recognize the non-virtuous, negative aspects of just mere selfish actions, and really work at developing this wish to help others. It is, and then we have to also recognize that we can't do what Second Senchab Rinpoche did. We don't have those abilities, and that's what makes us determined to work towards being able to do that. And we don't just work towards being able to remove the suffering of people here on planet Earth. We are working towards developing the ability to benefit all sentient beings. And that is what inspires us to seek the attainment of Buddhahood.
Can we say that maybe that's the higher level, and on the lower level, what is the practice for us?
To help others. The practice here in this meditation is to develop the recognition of our negative tendencies and develop the wish to take on the difficulties of others and to recognize the kindness of others.
Yeah, but it's easy in theory, and it's easy, well, not easy, but maybe easier in isolated instances, like with a stranger or with peripheral or more superficial relationships. But I think the most challenging, of course, is like the people that you're with, you know, whether it's people you live with or work with. There comes a certain point, and I think it comes quite frequently, where boundaries are pushed, where then you could be sort of inadvertently requested to just relinquish anything and everything you want to do. Like if there was somebody that you lived with and they were making so many requests that was going to make, you know, eventually lead to you not, that making just an extreme kind of ridiculous example, but you could not make class, you could not do the Tibet Center, you couldn't do it because you had to kind of keep saying yes. Is there not a point of boundary, right, where it's like, I mean, because
Is it limitless?
could somebody make the argument, it's like, well, you know, you hosting these meetings is serving you in some way, right? Even if it still is also serving us, but it's still something that maybe that you wish to do. But then there is somebody in your community that is continuously maybe, you know, preventing you from doing it. Well, you have no choice because you have to act out of selflessness.
So we're talking about a meditation where on the train on your way to work, you can think of the kindness shown by, you know, each and every sentient being on that train, including the cockroaches, have in past lives contributed to our well-being in some way. We're not able to recognize, and we recognize that the train that we're on, the mechanics that make it run, the conductors who are doing their work, the electricity that is being generated in order to make the train work, all the ingredients that make it possible for you to be on that train going to work are due to countless others. And you develop a certain feeling of appreciation. If someone is sort of trying to prevent you from doing good or whatever, you in your mind can go through that process. That's just a mind process. And and also on that train, you have a headache and you're not feeling and you recognize that every difficulty that you're experiencing is due to your own self-cherishing actions in the past. Every aspect of the fact that it's crowded in there and that you're hot or cold or whatever it is, all of those physical discomforts are due to those are thoughts that no matter what anyone is saying at home, you can go through that process on the train every day for the 35-40 minutes that you're on the train. And that time on the train can be the most wonderful process of totally transforming that train ride into a meditation opportunity.
Yeah, that's easier.
But also,
Hallelujah.
I think there is a place for boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, that's
If we're talking about this.
yeah.
There is a place for.
For boundaries, in other words, because we don't have.
Yeah, but
the limit-
that's
No, bodhisattvas don't have boundaries.
I
Are
agree.
we- So if we recognize that we're not yet bodhisattvas, we also have to do our best, given
Well-
our limitations.
There's something else here. At least doing these exercises, you're fighting indifference. You're starting to work. These exercises, whether you're successful or not, it's there's less indifference in your own mind. You're starting to see the reality of these people, that they're not just blank statistic.
And-
So that's a big point.
Okay.
the
So-
challenges that we face, let's say in a relationship, the challenges of the sort of power dynamics or whatever that we experience in any relationship, any difficulty that we face, we have in this process, we have to recognize that it is our past actions that have caused us to experience these challenges. We are working, of course it's easy to, talk about the demands that are being placed on us, but the fact that I'm in a situation where I'm experiencing these difficulties, all those things in this meditation, we are assuming responsibility for. We are recognizing that there's no way that we can in any way suffer, have difficulty, had we not sown the seeds for that suffering in the past. That's what we're trying to arrive at. We're changing the way, our natural feeling is that we sort of deserve happiness, and that we work towards getting there independent of of others. We sort of, and I think that this was discussed in this book before. We live in a time when there's this whole idea of security. We work towards a sense of being secure that is free of dependence on others. We want to own the things that we need to be able to navigate life without depending on others. I think it's sort of an aspiration of our time, as we are less and less of a rural agrarian society. This a quality of modern living is that we don't want to be dependent on others. We want to be independent. We want to have, as I keep using this word, security. We want a secure situation that is independent. This meditation is breaking that whole concept down and recognizing that everything that we have is dependent on others, and that all of the difficulties that we have are the result of our own selfish, self-cherishing actions. So, yeah.
I love what you're saying tonight. It's very meaningful. It's just that we have to, like, little by little, practicing it and putting it in our own daily life.
I agree.
Yeah.
We can, as a result of arriving at this point in our meditation, actually engage in this meditation called Tonglen, where we are imagining that we are taking on the difficulties, the challenges of others, breathing them in, and as I said, extinguishing this flame of self-cherishing in our hearts. That's the visualization we can do. And then breathing out all of our virtue. We've all engaged, I mean, to be human beings, the amount of virtue that we must have accumulated to actually end up here at the Tibet Center is
Yes.
enormous.
Yes,
All of us. And that we can send out to all sentient beings as a, they talk about white nectar or blessings or whatever, so that we are breathing in the negativity of others, the difficulties of others. We breathe those in, and they are extinguishing this flame of self-cherishing in our hearts. And we are breathing out all the qualities that we have. We are sharing them. We are sharing their blessings with all sentient beings. And this, and we can even imagine that in this process we are actually removing the suffering of all others. We can visualize that they are being freed of their suffering, that they are being freed of their ignorance, that they are being freed of their afflictions, and that they are actually attaining a state of liberation and enlightenment. We can then view this enormous, what would you call it, an environment of all sentient beings being enlightened, and delight in this, and we can make offerings to them. We can visualize our bestowing whatever wonderful things we can imagine to them. But then we have to recognize that this is all an illusion, that this is all our imagination. And it is out of this recognition of the fact that this doesn't exist that we determine to work towards bringing this into reality. We determine to work towards developing the actual ability to provide others with happiness and provide them with freedom from their suffering. And that determination is bodhicitta. It is the determination to work towards the ability to actually benefit others. So that's the meditation on exchanging self for others, and it's one of the most wonderful meditations I know. And I think that if we engage in this secular ethics with a real determination to work towards bringing happiness to others and removing their suffering, and in order to do so, towards pursuing our enlightenment to most effectively help others, that becomes a really extraordinary practice.
Bobo would say it's fantastic.
I do remember.
Haven't seen it.
It's fantastic. It is fantastic.
Do you think that perhaps choosing situations where we know that doing something that's a little bit uncomfortable for us but benefits someone else is a good sort of beginning way of taking on or taking in something that's uncomfortable for us, stepping into something that's uncomfortable for us, for others' benefit? Is that a way, do you think, that erodes our self-cherishing?
So we're talking about a meditation where you're imagining that you're doing so. when we have the opportunity to benefit others, even if it's going to be a little bit difficult for us, yes, we have to recognize our limitations. And if we're not able to do it, we don't do it. We can wish that we could do it. We can determine what is bodhicitta? It's a wish that we can do it. It's a determination to develop the ability to do it, so that when we can do it, we will do it. But to step into doing more than we can do is not good.
Yeah. But sometimes it is something we can do, even though it will be uncomfortable.
Can do it?
You have to do it. It's difficult, but do it. It's not fun. Never.
Yes.
Like coming out from New Jersey, it's not easy.
Oh, it's very pleasant. Darren drives.
And you think that's
Russia.
spiritually.
It was a real fun time.
And then Tenzin drives back.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're
especially difficult
like
Monday
friends.
after work.
We have a nice dinner together.
Yeah.
Shake Shack or?
Shake Shack.
No.
We have in the
Yeah,
past,
bread.
we've gone to
I'm quite
different
familiar.
places,
Okay.
many different places.
Biryani joint. When you eat with your hands.
Yes, when we come into Penn Station, there's a whole
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
pain
But
quotidien.
they for offering.
What is it called? Prêt à manger.
Oh, bread manger, oh, yes.
I feel I'm advertising the booths of Penn
That
Station.
used to be good, but the sandwiches have gone down.
Which one?
In my opinion. Bread manger.
I think they're still pretty good.
That
Made fresh every
bread,
day.
fresh bread. The bread is nice.
So, thank you. This has been
Thank you. Very good. Very real. Ooh, don't forget,
hmm?
don't be messy.
So, Mark's cat died. Mark's cat was 17 years old. Cat's name is Pam. Epoch. Nick Mangold, Jack DeJohnette, a drummer.
Right? No, drum. With T. Jarrett, no, with the, yeah, and also,
So we will read the Sutra of the Recollection of the Noble Three Jewels. I prostrate to the Omniscient One. Thus the Buddha, Bhagavat, Tathagata, Arhat, Sambuddha, the learned and virtuous one, the Sugata, the knower of the world, the charioteer and tamer of beings, the unsurpassable one, the teacher of devas and humans.
The Tathagata is in accord with all merit. He does not waste the roots of virtue. He is completely harmonic with all patience. He is the basis of all treasures of merit. He is the Lord of the minor marks. He blossoms with the flowers of the major marks. His activity is timely and appropriate. Seeing him, he is without disharmony. He brings true joy to those who long with faith. His knowledge cannot be overpowered. His strength cannot be challenged. He is the teacher of all sentient beings. He is the father of the Bodhisattvas. He is the king of noble ones. He is the guide of those who journey to the city of Nirvana. He possesses immeasurable wisdom. He possesses inconceivable confidence. His speech is completely pure. His melody is pleasing. One never has enough of seeing him. His form is incomparable. He is not stained by the realm of desire. He is not stained by the realm of form. He is not affected by the formless realm. He is completely liberated from suffering. He is completely and utterly liberated from the skandhas. He is not possessed with dhatus. His diatomics are controlled. He has completely cut the knots. He is completely liberated from extreme torment. He is liberated from craving. He has crossed over the river. He is perfected in all the wisdoms. He abides in the wisdom of the Buddha and Bhagavats who arise in the past, present, and future. He does not abide in nirvana. He abides in the ultimate perfection. He dwells on the bhumi where he sees all sentient beings. All these are the perfect virtues of the greatness of the Buddha and Bhagavat. The holy Dharma is good at the beginning, good in the middle, and good at the end. Its meaning is excellent. Its words are excellent. It is uncorrupted. It is completely perfect and completely pure. It completely purifies. The Bhagavad teaches the Dharma well. It brings complete vision. It is free from sickness. It is always timely. It directs one further. Seeing it fulfills one's purpose. It brings discriminating insight for the wise. The Dharma which is taught by the Bhagavad is revealed properly in the Vinaya. It is renunciation. It causes one to arrive at perfect enlightenment. It is without contradiction. It is pithy. It is trustworthy and puts an end to the journey. As for the Sangha of the great Gnana, they enter completely. They enter insightfully. They enter straightforwardly. They enter harmoniously. They are worthy of veneration with joint palms. They are worthy of receiving prostration. They are a field of glorious merit. They are completely capable of receiving all gifts. They are an object of generosity. They are a great object of complete generosity. The protector who possesses great kindness, the omniscient teacher, the basis of oceans of merit and virtue. I prostrate to the Tathagata. Pure the cause of freedom from passion, virtuous liberating from the lower realms. This alone is the supreme ultimate truth. I prostrate to the Dharma which is peace. Having been liberated, they show the path to liberation. They are fully dedicated to the disciplines. They are a holy field of merit and possess virtue. I prostrate to the Sangha. I prostrate to the Buddha, the leader. I prostrate to the Dharma, the protector. I prostrate to the Sangha, the community. I prostrate respectfully and always to these three. The Buddha's virtues are inconceivable. The Dharma's virtues are inconceivable. The Sangha's virtues are inconceivable. Having faith in these inconceivables, therefore the fruitions are inconceivable. May they be born in completely pure realm.
We read the 8 verses on turning around. With the determination to accomplish the highest welfare of all
sentient beings, surpass even which man can control. I will learn to hold that supremely here. Whenever I associate with others, I will learn to think of myself as the lowest amongst all, and respectfully hold others to be supreme from the very depths of my heart. In all actions, I will learn to search into my mind, and as soon as a disturbing emotion arises, endangering myself and others, I will firmly face and avert it. I will learn to cherish ill-natured beings and those oppressed by strong misdeeds and sufferings, as if I had found a precious treasure difficult to find. When others out of jealousy treat me badly, with abuse, slander, and so on, I will learn to take all loss and offer victory to them. When the one whom I have benefited with great hope unreasonably hurts me very badly, I will learn to view that person as an excellent spiritual guide. In short, I will learn to offer to everyone without exception all help and happiness directly and indirectly, and respectfully take upon myself all harm and suffering of my others. I will learn to keep all these practices undefiled by the stains of the 8 worldly concerns, and by understanding all phenomena as like illusions, be released from the bondage of attachment. So do this of all victors gathered in a drop, so refuge manifests in the form of the one wearing saffron robes, Guru Losang Tuan Gurujana. Please bear witness here today that our prayers may be fulfilled. We beseech the great torch of doctrine, accomplishing from long ago the vast waves of aspirational prayers, Lord of speech of the Victor Losang's teachings, spreading them to the ends of the earth by means of explanation and practice. The holy commitment I invite all beings to be my guests and unsurpassed great awakening. Yet you have withdrawn the activities of the form body that serves the welfare of others. Is that worthy of the supreme among beings and go to silence? Though impossible for you to associate with existence and to abandon your commitment to earthly as an unrivaled supreme emanation, holder of the sage's teachings, and which prophetic jewel, return to glory was on Tibet. Magnificent truth of the three precious jewels, Mahakala, Pranayama, and Srimati, and the oceans of our protectors, may you spontaneously fulfill our wish, the swift blossoming of reincarnation fresh on my face.
Thank you. So on Wednesday, this Wednesday, we will have class in South Orange, New Jersey at 502 North Ridgewood Road, South Orange, New Jersey. 7 o'clock in the evening. And on Saturday, at that same address, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we will have the recitation of the Tara Puja. Everyone is welcome. 1 o'clock. There's a 12:07 train from Penn Station to get you there just in time. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Everyone is jealous.